Hey guys, today we are talking about a very special category of product, and this is the personal wearable speakers. Now, this is the Monster Boomerang. Why did they call it the Boomerang? I don't know. Okay, so the question we want to answer today is, does this live up to its name, the Monster branding, in terms of audiophile sound quality, or is it just another gimmick? Let's find out. So as customary in my videos and all my reviews that I talk about products, I will give you my answer up front. This product here for music, nah, not gonna do it. If you want to use this as a kind of like a communication device to use as a hands-free means of speaking on the phone or getting on Zoom calls, then yes, this will work for you. It has a built-in mic. But for music, no. For movies, no. I don't really recommend it. If you have time, stay around. I'll go through the features in depth and I'll do a frequency sweep of this pair of wearable speaker phones. Then you can tell for yourself whether this is really doing what it's supposed to do, or is it just a lot of marketing fluff. So one of the more popular ones that you probably heard of before is the Bose, this particular soundware. But I don't think they have been producing this anymore. I think they've discontinued it. The other one is also from Bose. They have this sunglasses which has the speaker integrated into the side of the frame, and it projects the sound down. Now, how these work is that it projects a sound. It doesn't have to be very loud, but because it's so near your ear, right, from the spectacle frames to your ears, or from where your shoulders are to your ears, so those 3 inches, those 2 inches, it actually doesn't have to be very loud, but you can still hear quite a bit. Now, one major thing that you have to note, and that you shouldn't be expecting too much out of these devices here, is that speakers, or rather headphones or earphones that you have been used to and they sound great, is because they can create a seal, right? Or they can go inside your ear, those in-ear monitors. It creates a very good seal, and the bass is then delivered. But not so much for this. The sound has to travel those couple of inches, and it is like you're listening to a headphone. You blare it out very loud, but you put it 3 inches away. How does it sound? No bass, right? Can it go loud? Yes, it can possibly go loud, especially those higher and more power-hungry headphones. They can go quite loud. You can use even a 50-watt amplifier to power those headphones, but the sound quality is not there. So the same is what you should expect from these. Now let's take a look at this Boomerang speaker itself first. This comes very well packaged. If you look at the box, it is a very hard, solid cardboard. If you put it in the Apple store, it will sit right there, right next to all the Apple products, next to the MacBook Pros, the MacBook Airs. The whole packaging is actually very well made, very hard. So, and it's shrink wrap. It was shrink wrap. I have already opened it. It was shrink wrap, and the shrink wrapping is actually very tight, very nice. And even the packaging, look at it, is very tight tolerances. And I like that, I appreciate that. So if you look inside, this is what greets you, all right? And open it up, and there you go. So this is the headset itself. I can smell the silicone, by the way, okay? The headset itself, and documentation, right? It says here documentation and cable. And if you open it up, what do you expect to see? Well, documentation and a cable. Point to note, this is a USB-C cable. I wish everybody starts transiting to USB-C. It is going to be so much more convenient, reversible. I mean, yep, USB-C, please, everybody. Okay, so this is chargeable via USB-C. Now, take note, this particular headphone here this is how you wear it, okay? And there's nothing to shove in your ear. There's no seal to maintain. It's just like that. So the silicone lines the back. It feels smooth to the touch. The fabric is here. The fabric covers probably where the speaker cones are. And there's a flap here, a very tight flap, that once you open it up, you can see that this is where the USB-C charging port is. Okay, this provides a very good seal to maintain its IPX7 rating. Okay, and over here you'll see all the buttons. This is the pairing, this is power on off, and volume up down here. You have to go by feel. I could not quite figure it out, but maybe over time I will be able to get used to it and I know where the buttons are. Will I be wearing this long term? I'm not sure. Let's go in and find out more. Okay, so let's talk about the features a little bit. This on the box, it says IPX7, so it's waterproof. IPX7 waterproof, USB-C charging, 12 plus hours of battery. Otherwise, not much to it. I don't think there's much. Let's try pairing it to the computer right now. So if I recall properly, this should be pair and this should be the power button. No, is it? No, pair, power button. Yep, hold.
Discovering. Your device is connected.
It still shocks me. When the voice speaks, you are left wondering, is it coming from the speakers in front of me or is the voice coming from behind me? It envelopes you. It creates a sound bubble that is all around you. It's hard to describe. I've seen videos on this before, and everybody who is trying this kind of wearable, they will be wondering, where exactly is the sound coming from? Now imagine a pair of speakers, right? You can see the speakers, they are in front of you. When you listen to it, the sound plays, you know where the speakers are coming from. In a surround sound format, even if you have 7 speakers, 11 speakers, whatever, you can still, have an idea of where the direction of sound is coming from. When you're wearing headphones or earphone, well, because it's there, you know it's coming from there. But this particular piece, you just wonder, where is the sound coming from? Okay, is it good? Let's find out in a frequency sweep. So today's video won't be long, and I'm going to pull out the frequency sweep just here. Okay. Now, if you look at the frequency sweep table, this is at a base of 40 decibels, and it goes from 20 hertz all the way to 20 kilohertz. Now, if you look at this whole range here, it looks pretty flat. Okay, it's not too bad, but 7K onwards, 7 kilohertz onwards, it starts dipping. I don't know what this hike here is about, but you're not going to be hearing much of that at this is 16 kilohertz, right? Not going to be hearing much. Now, where most of it is usable is actually within the range of this 7 kilohertz all the way down to 140 hertz or so. Now, from 140 hertz, it starts tailing off dramatically. So you're not going to be getting a lot of bass out of this guy. Let's face it, you don't have a seal. The drivers are going to be very, very small. They're just this size. What do you expect out of it? Okay, so if you are looking at the capabilities of this pair, being 140 hertz up, I would say it works well for human voice. It works well for, maybe more focus on the female voice than the male voice. Now, I've tried listening to this. Watching a movie, you can make out text. You can make out dialogue, and the dialogue is clear. You can pump up the volume, and they do get actually very, very loud. I'm going to try to see if I can play something, and you can have an idea of how loud it possibly goes. So I won't show you the whole video, but just listen to parts of it. I'm going to be playing it.
Come on, we're right here.
We got about 25, 30 tangos.
When the bomb went off, when the grenade went off, you can feel the headphone, or do you call it personal speakers, vibrating on my collarbone. And when the gunshots are being fired, you can feel the thud. It's actually, you feel the vibration more than you hear the bass. So it's not that, the bass is that great, but it is very, very immersive because you still get a very good stereo separation. You can hear left from right, but what you won't get is that deep, even bass that you might be expecting. You won't get that, but it does get loud. I started playing at about 50% volume. I pump it up all the way to 80%. I didn't want to push it anymore because it was going to get really quite loud. This mic here is actually placed about a foot away, about 10 to 12 inches actually. So you can already hear how loud it is and how much it is picking up. But one thing you have to note is that depending on where you position your head, the balance of the stereo imaging is going to be affected. If you move it here, you'll find that the left side is louder because you're nearer to the speaker to the left and this distance, so the volume drops off on the right. If you tilt your head to the right, and then the other side happens. So as you can tell from the sound demo, and as you can tell from what you are seeing from the orange chart that I have shown earlier for the frequency sweep, this guy is no bass monster. It will not do bass. Okay, is it going to be good for a Zoom call, a conference call? Yes, I actually think that it will. There is a mic that is embedded at the tip of this machine here. So it picks up sound here. I've tested it out on a call. I called someone up. I asked, do you hear an echo? The answer was, no, there's no echo. Do you hear yourself when you're speaking being echoing back? Because, sometimes when the other party speaks, the sound gets projected out here and then it gets picked up by the mic itself and it creates a feedback and the other person is going to be hearing their own voice. And that is truly irritating. But did it happen with this? No, it didn't. So what I'm going to be using this for, I will likely want to try and test drive it in a Zoom call setting, in a kind of a conference call setting. Let's see if I get any feedback from other participants in the conference, in the call, on how good the sound quality is or how bad the sound quality is. The most important is whether we can be intelligible in our speech or not. So there you go. It is a very, very interesting piece of tech here. I think I like it. The great part about it is not about its sound quality. It's not about its fidelity. It is how surprising it sounds, how enveloping it is. The sound stage is just all around you. It's just right from the back to the front. And the feeling is very, very strange. I can't describe it. I have not heard headphones that sounds like this, earphones that sound like this, or speakers that sound like this, or not even home theater setups that sound like this. Now, this is wireless. It goes by Bluetooth 5.0. The latency is actually pretty okay, pretty good. And it looks pretty good, right? There's a Monster branding here. It looks pretty good. The Go accent. Yep. Let's see how it sounds. Let's see how it performs. So I hope this gives you an idea of how this sounds. If you are interested in this item, I can post the affiliate link where I can earn a small commission if you buy through the link. It is on Amazon and I got it for about 120 Singapore dollars. It's less than 100 US dollars. So the pricing as compared to the Bose, which I mentioned earlier, they go for at least twice or maybe 2.5 times the price of these guys here. JVC makes them as well. I think there are some other cheaper companies, more discreet, more unknown companies who have made these kind of devices. Try them out. They could be very cheap. They run about $20, $30. It's actually pretty amazing. Why I chose to buy this? Well, Monster, there is some kind of a branding there. The fit looks good. The material looks good. It feels good. And I'm a sucker for quality. So, which is why I bought this guy. Any updates in the long term, I will let you know, but otherwise, I would say that this is a recommended buy from me today. Okay, I will see you in my next video.